Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. Today I want to talk to you about all these third-party companies that are on again and off again. Or they're done. And then, magic, we're back. I've noticed this over and over. I made a video about this, but Make Toys is one of those companies. Sunday I did misinterpret a post. Got it wrong. I thought they were saying this is further along because you got wires and it's fully painted test shot and all that kind of stuff. What usually means when they're further along. I was still thinking it's probably out a year. But I guess this is canceled. I guess it's deleted. And I got a little more information on this from Bot versus Con. So thanks for filling me in on that. But it's kind of sad that Make Toys is now saying some stuff. Make Toys isn't the only company that's on and off in the third-party realm. And there's a whole lot of reasons and a whole lot of stuff. But I figure it's a good time to talk about this again because of the sort of news for Make Toys. In a way, the no surprise, really, of what they've got to say. But let's get into talking about this and more. Coming up. First off, I want to talk about Bad Cube, and they're in their off again phase. They've been off for a while since Fans Toys has reissued a lot of these, just made these mini bots and sort of outdid them. Now, one of the things we saw with Bad Cube is they would just fall off the face of the earth and then show up with the reissue 2 years later on a grump because he's selling for $200 or $300 on eBay, and so every retailer sold out. They're happy to take another stock of this and make some more money selling them at $50 to $60, which is a good price for this figure. And you can probably get them for between $50 and $100 right now. In fact, I believe Bad Cube was the last company to do a Sunstreaker until MP whatever Takara put theirs out. Now, Takara's a pretty good Sunstreaker, but this was the most coveted version of Sunstreaker for a while until Takara came out with theirs. And it's still a good figure, and I'm sure many people still rock this today as their Sunstreaker, and I don't see a problem with that. So as competition comes out and it's better than what they put out, they just stop reissuing it, which is smart. I mean, if there's no market for it anymore, why reissue it? Now here comes their security director, Recon, Red Alert. So this was the one I've got. I think it's great. I think it's a good figure. I don't like their side swipe, it's so weird. I don't know why I don't like it. But anyway, these are some of the figures they made. They stopped making new items and just started reissuing old ones, and that really feels like where Make Toys is right now. DX9 is DX9's not in the same place as Make Toys, but DX9 is definitely one of those companies that said, we are done, it's over, and there was nothing from them for a year and a half. Almost 2 years, year and a half. But then they came back strong. Now, this Tyrant is a good figure. It's up for, it's in stock, actually, at Show Z, and so is their Prowl. They're known for a lot of the figures that they've made over the years. They made a really solid Minosaur that looks great, works well. The trailer's just real long, but people pointed out that it's actually more animation accurate, so that's a plus, I guess. So I think overall it does look good, and if you're in for an option for like around $400, that's a pretty good option. Now their Prowl, I don't think the Prowl is the best one out there. I was going to get it, but I guess I'm in the category of waiting for the Fans Toys category. So that's where I'm at. That's where I be at right now, waiting for the Fans Toys. And I have to say that I thought it looked promising, but I just can't get past those 2 holes in the front shins for the windows. I watched a couple reviews, didn't seem too impressive, but really for the price, I didn't really think it was that bad. It was $80, something like that. I didn't think it was that bad, and I really had high hopes for it because of this. If I were to pick any of the Carbots from Takara's original lineup, like I would have gotten rid of Sideswipe. Sideswipe was one of the earlier Carbots too, and so it's a very, very old design from 2012 or something like that, 11. And so DX9 delivering this one, which I think looks fantastic, and I've got it. And kind of on one hand, I wished I wished I would have waited for the second version, but I'm happy with the first version. And this is the Red Storm Sideswipe. Looks good. Now, again, Fansoys is going to try to take it on. But this one might actually hold its own against Fansoys. Aesthetically. Now, not build-wise or die-cast-wise, but aesthetically, I think it probably will hold its own. Unique Toys is another one that seemed to have said they're done. It's over. But they either have ties to DX9 or are DX9. A lot of these companies, especially ones that have been around in the game for a long time as much as DX9 has, they seem to have multiple names, like pin names. It's what they kind of are, like pin names. But with all this, that is a pretty decent version of Springer, but I felt he was just a little bit too chunky and didn't quite fit the character model for me the most. I did own him for a while, and he was my Springer for a while, but once I got a better one, I eventually got rid of him. One of the Unique Toys figures I liked the most was Unique Toys Buzzing, and I actually held on to it for quite a while after I got the Fans Toys version of Blur. But after a while, I realized how I just liked the Fans Toys one better over time. I just kind of thought, yeah, Fans Toys is a little bit better, and this is still a good figure. Overall, the transformation is significantly more enjoyable than a Fans Toys transformation, but the alt mode on this is not that great. You know, and I would say this is a case of Fans Toys kind of stepping on them or bot blocking them or whatever. But they've reissued this, and it's sold out of Show Z again. So there is demand for Blur, for their model, and you've got to also take into account there's demand for an $80 Blur that looks okay, that's not perfect, is a little more enjoyable to transform, and all of that stuff. And that's why I like to see these companies stick around. I want to see Make Toys stick around. Next up, we got Toy World. And Toy World kind of comes and goes, and it seemed like all they did for a long time was just Constructor, which it's not a bad Devastator, and it was the best Devastator for a long time. I did have mine as mine in my display for a long time. But you look up Toy World also, the only thing I see is something they call Drop, Shoot, and Burst, which don't really appeal to me at all. And you start to wonder, like, where is Toy World? Why did they drop off? Why did they do a few... You could say they're Legends scale Beast Wars. Technically, they are Masterpiece scale. At Legends is Masterpiece scale. It's tricky. If you've watched the show, you know. But why they stopped all of that, I don't know. A big part of it was their designers and Zeta leaving them. Now, Zeta kind of took off on their own and did their own thing, but at the same time, had the rights to a lot of Toy World figures, like that Leia up there. It's, do they even call it Leia? They call it Arc RC cartoon. So they must call it something different, but they did a lot of recolors and reissues of those. But Zeta's always got something in the works, but not a lot. Now, Zeta's also another example of using a pen name or another name. The 01 Studio, they got in a lot of trouble with Hasbro, or I don't even know if they can truly get in trouble, but they had some issues with their Unicron during the HasLab Unicron funding. And HasLab Unicron didn't fund in the time. They had to do an extension. I believe that Takara was like, we're going to make this no matter what. So you can't play your silly little games with, it didn't hit the number. We don't play that game. So they got it over the hump no matter how they had to do it. And maybe they ordered 2 extra in the vault, got it over. No, just kidding. But yeah, this 01 Studio is Zeta. A lot of people are like, well, did they sell their designs to Zeta? Well, Show Z puts them all in the same bucket, right? All in the same category. All in the same slot. Zeta's even come back out with these cone heads, the cone heads, and made them a little bit more metallic looking, I believe. I never got my hands on them. I didn't need them. I was kind of, I've got the Make Toys. Oddly enough, we're talking about Make Toys, and I've got the Make Toys. And I still think the Make Toys, they fit the size, aesthetic, closer to Deformation Space, and that's my main set of Seekers. But these are great too. Just how many sets of Coneheads does one, actually need in their collection. Two's all I would really need. Wait, no. One? Another one that might seem like it fits in this category is KFC. On again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again. Really, all they've really done is their Optimus Prime. It's a Super Genrai Optimus Prime, which now we're getting. They're making their God Bomber. I kind of avoided the whole thing. Price is pretty high, and they're reissuing their Simba, which is to go with the Takara Star Saber for the Victory Leo and all that kind of stuff. And they're reissuing, I guess, Crash Hog, so the Wreck-Ar. This is X-Transbots. Basically, Keith is the guy at X-Transbots. This is Keith's fantasy club, KFC, and this company it's just X-Transbots. For the longest time, it just seemed like when X-Transbots wanted to put something premium out, they put the KFC name on it. It's kind of also the pen name, in a way. But I never could make rhyme or reason why they would do this. It's almost like they wanted to protect Keith's fantasy club, and you'd put anything like Apollyon, anything that maybe could get hurt the company, hurt the name, would go in X-Transbots. But now it seems like it all goes in X-Transbots, except for whatever reason, the God Bomber and stuff. No rhyme or reason. This is just X-Transbots. Now we get into Make Toys, and basically the information that I sort of got was that Make Toys is pretty much pausing all future projects. So what does that mean? Anything that's not a Seeker. I've joked in the past, and it's bit me in the... Oh, man. Look at all the Seekers that they've made. And, yeah, that seems to be all that they're doing right now. Is just that one Seeker mold. Why would they do this? Well, they have to pay $0 in tooling, because it's the same mold, right? And they're not even rerunning the cone heads. Think about that. It's just Seekers. And then they don't have to work out details of production or deal with problems or issues that arise. No. They just can bump out that one mold over and over and over. The factory that's used to making it has gotten really good at making Seekers. In fact, almost to the point that, like, if the tooling goes bad, let's just chisel out another tooling. I mean, it is insane. I was just thinking, in the ocean of Seekers, maybe they've made enough money finally to bring out the Headmasters. I showed this in my news, but it just makes sense to me. Well, it doesn't make sense to me. Why would they do a photo shoot and say, oh, but it's not going to get made? And then put it next to their iteration of the Shattered Glass Thundercracker that we're seeing for the MPUs. You know, it doesn't make any sense that, like, hey, this thing's never going to get made. Sorry. Now, there is speculation that somebody could buy the design, or someone else could pick it up and run with it and take off with it. But, you know, they haven't really made anything since Contact Shot. Which, and let me tell you this. When they reran Contact Shot, made it again, I praised them for it. I made a lot of noise to everybody so they can go buy it. I don't really know what it's going for on the aftermarket right now, but I imagine it's more than the 75 or whatever, $80 that it went for on, when I just looked this up on Shozi, I think it said 75 or 80. But yeah, this is a good figure. They did a good job with it. I think when it originally came out, collectors just weren't ready to go this deep. We still need season 1 and season 2, and why are we getting into this? And that's part of the problem. But the market is there now for later and more obscure figures. Now, Make Toys is kind of the king of go away and come back, and go away and come back, taking a long time to release something. But they were promising when they put out their hardhead. But here's the funny part, is that there was a company, Yes model, that knocked them off. So it was about $120 to get the standard figure, which is still a reasonable price. But the KOs went for $65. I actually think I paid $75 or $80 for mine, and I actually didn't even know that was a thing at the time. I was like, oh, that says Make Toys. It's the Make Toys. Well, it's the Yes model. It's like, what's Yes model? I don't know. So that's how I learned it was KO. It's still fine. The only difference between the Yes model and the Make Toys is the fitting of the guns in the hands. They don't tab in well, but the originals tab in a little bit better, from my understanding. But other than that, I mean, everything seems to be fine with my copy on this. I think not too long ago they did a Yes model reissue, which isn't Make Toys, by the way. It's what I'm hearing is it's another company. It's either the factory they used or just another group of people just trying to make a quick cash grab off of it. But it's not actually Make Toys anymore. Or they sold the molds or something. I don't even know the whole story on it. But I know I own a Yes model, and I didn't have to pay too much for it. Now, they reissued a 2-pack for $100. Now, they're sold out also. But, you know, why not do the other two and finish it out? I know it's not cheap to make a figure. But all that Seeker money could have funded this. Now, again, I'm going to reiterate, I got the whole story wrong in my news. And I'll be the first to admit when I'm wrong. And I'm thankful when people step up and pass along more information to me. I like that. But now it means I'm not going to be buying anything else from Make Toys. If they're not going to make... Make Toys. They're not going to make anything that I'd be interested in. I don't need a 54th color variation of a Seeker. But I take a clear one, and I like this design better. I actually don't really like the design of the Make Toys Seeker as much. Everyone praised it. I knew it was a little bit nicer looking than what Takara had going on. But at the same time, I like the Takara 3.0. They call it a 2.0. It's 3.0 mold. But I really like Deformation Space the most. It's a trick to transform that puppy, but I got this clear MPU pre-ordered, which is starting to wonder here why this MP Ultra keeps making Seekers and stuff from Takara. Does Takara just let them do it? Well, anyway, that's a whole different discussion. Anyway, let me know what you think about these companies that are on again and off again. Do you agree with me that Make Toys should stick around and make this guy? Or do you feel like they're going to feel like they wasted their money? Because in 2031, when Fans Toys gets around it, it might be a little bit better. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Titanium Hanger out.